The Ceylon Electricity Board Engineers Union has threatened it will resort to trade union action if their demands on the long-term power generation plan is not met. They claim authorities are delaying the implementation of their proposals.
Based on the policies of the government, the Ministry of Power and Renewable Energy has drafted plans to generate electricity from renewable energy to meet the country's electricity demand by 2030. Accordingly, the use of coal for power generation is to be dropped from 43% to 1% by 2030. However, in the long-term generation plan of the Ceylon Electricity Board, it has been proposed to move towards coal power plants to generate electricity for the coming years. The main issue we face is each year the electricity demand increases by 200 megawatts. Therefore, we will have to construct a 200 megawatt power plant every year. However, those power plants need to be profitable. However, the News1st plant came in 2014, and after it was included into the national grid, we did not see the construction of a low-cost power plant. Land was allocated and project officers were maintained for 7 to 8 years in Sampur, and when the tenders were to be called, that power plant was stopped. The CEB recorded profits following the News1st power plant in 2014. However, in 2017, the CEB incurred losses to the tune of 45 billion rupees. The Public Utilities Commission needs to be accountable for this situation. In May last year, the power generation plan from 2018 to 2037 was produced and it has not been approved to date. They have cast aside our plan and are misleading the country. The long-term generation plan was approved on the 19th of July 2017. It looks at the least cost method for a period of 20 years. Then it will not include any coal power plants. It included LNG power plants and renewable energy plants. If there is a delay in implementing those plans, we will be compelled to purchase electricity for a higher cost in order to supply electricity. We need to consider the energy security as well. The government follows a policy to generate electricity from all available energy sources. The subject minister will submit a cabinet paper to the Cabinet of Ministers next week. The Cabinet of Ministers will thereafter decide the energy generation composition required for the country. Thereafter, the CEB and the PUCSL will be given the opportunity to implement those plans. Then the issue will be solved. The issue between both sides is, should a coal power plant be constructed or a LNG plant be constructed? However, the issue that will arise in 2020 will not be solved by either coal power plants or LNG plants. The energy requirement increased by 5% annually. If new power plants are not constructed by 2020, there will be a serious issue in electricity generation. If that happens, we will have to be in the dark or obtain electricity from power plants that use fuel at a very high cost. Renewable energy needs to be developed immediately, and a solution needs to be sought to prevent the sudden purchase of fuel in 2020. On several occasions, Newsfirst highlighted the negative impact on the environment caused by the News1st coal power plant. The power plant was subject to repairs on a number of occasions, and on separate occasions, issues at the plant disrupted the national power supply. During the past 2 years, irregularities had taken place under the supervision of the Ministry Secretary with regard to the coal tender, and the loss is far greater than the loss caused from the bond scam. If these incidents continue, they are operating in a manner to continue with committing theft from this. Private firms have come forward to construct LNG plants at their cost, and the government only has to purchase electricity from them. All those proposals were rejected. This will attribute to the increase of charges from the general public. If this continues, the country will go dark, and that cannot be prevented.